In June of 1960, 4 teenagers went camping by a quiet lake in Finland. 2 boys, 2 girls. The oldest was 18. They set up their tent on the shore and went to sleep. By morning, 3 of them were gone, and the only one who survived would one day stand trial for what happened that night. This is the story of the Lake Bodom mystery, and the question Finland still can't answer. The lake was called Bodom, a calm, beautiful spot just outside Espoo, near Helsinki. The kind of place teenagers went to escape the city for a weekend. There were 4 of them, 2 couples, Mela and Anya, both 15. Their boyfriends, Seppo and Niels, both 18. They rode out to the lake on motorcycles on a Saturday evening in early June. They set up a single tent on the shore, had something to eat, talked into the evening. Other campers nearby saw them. Everything looked completely normal. At around 10:30, the 4 of them went into the tent to sleep. What happened over the next several hours is the central mystery of this case, because nobody who could fully explain it ever did. Sometime between 4 and 6 in the morning, an attacker came to the tent. The attack came from outside, through the canvas walls of the tent. 3 of the teenagers lost their lives without ever leaving the tent. The 4th, 18-year-old Niels Gustafsson, survived. He was found outside the tent badly injured, a fractured jaw, facial fractures, a concussion, but alive. And his survival is exactly what would haunt the case for decades. The bodies weren't discovered until the next morning. A young man swimming in the lake noticed the collapsed tent across the water. When investigators arrived, they found a scene that made no sense. Some of the teenagers' belongings were missing: shoes, a wallet, a set of keys, but money was left untouched. Robbery made no sense as a motive. The attacker had come, harmed 4 people, taken a few random objects, and vanished. A description that investigators never quite knew what to do with. Over the following years, the investigation produced several suspects. The first was a man named Hans Assman, a figure who would become legendary in Finnish crime lore. The morning after the incident, Assman checked into a Helsinki hospital. His fingernails were black with dirt. His clothes were stained red. Hospital staff said he was nervous and aggressive. Doctors insisted the stains were blood. He matched the description of a fair-haired man seen near the lake. And shortly after a newspaper published details of the case, he cut his hair. But the police never investigated his stained clothes. They said he had an alibi and let him go. There were others too. A local kiosk owner who reportedly confessed before his death, but none of them were ever charged. Every lead eventually went cold. And then there was the strangest detail of all. Under hypnosis, Niels had described his attacker. A police artist drew a sketch. Later, at one of the victims' funerals, someone took a photograph of the crowd. For over 4 decades, the case sat unsolved. Niels Gustafsson grew up, became a bus driver, lived an ordinary life. For 44 years, he was simply the boy who survived. And then, in 2004, everything changed. The Finnish National Bureau of Investigation reopened the case, using forensic techniques that didn't exist in 1960, including DNA analysis. And the evidence, they said, pointed somewhere nobody expected. If this case is pulling you in, leave a like before we get to what the DNA revealed. It tells me to keep digging up cases the world forgot. In March 2004, police arrested Niels Gustafsson, the sole survivor, for the deaths of his 3 friends. Their theory was this: there had never been an outside attacker. They believed an argument had broken out that night, that Niels had been involved in a fight, and that what followed was the work of someone inside the tent, not outside it. Their case rested heavily on one piece of physical evidence: the shoes. Niels' own shoes had been found hidden about 450 meters away from the tent, and modern DNA analysis showed the blood of the 3 victims on those shoes. The defense argued this made no sense if Niels was the attacker. His injuries were severe: a fractured jaw, broken facial bones. How could a teenager with those injuries overpower 3 people, then walk 450 meters to hide his shoes? The defense said his wounds were exactly what you'd expect from a victim: not an attacker. The trial began in August 2005. Prosecutors asked for a life sentence. The trial lasted 3 months. Niels maintained what he had said for 44 years, that an intruder came out of the dark. The court found the evidence insufficient. Niels was acquitted. He was even awarded damages, around 44,000 euros, for the trauma of the trial. But an acquittal isn't the same as an answer. The court didn't declare what happened that night, only that it couldn't be proven Niels did it, which left Finland exactly where it started, divided. Half the country believed an innocent survivor had been put on trial for surviving. The other half believed the only witness had been hiding in plain sight. Lake Bodom is still there today. Calm, beautiful, unchanged. People still swim there in summer. Most have no idea what happened on that shore. Niels Gustafsson lived the rest of his life as a free man, always maintaining his innocence. The other 3 never got to grow up. They remain frozen at 15 and 18. The case has inspired books, songs, even the name of a famous Finnish metal band. But more than 60 years later, the central question has never been answered. Whoever came out of those Finnish woods in June of 1960, whether a stranger or someone much closer, took the answer with them. And Lake Bodom keeps its secret. If you made it this far, you already know what kind of channel this is. Hollow Files covers the cases the world buried, the ones that were never finished. If you're new here, my documentaries on the Setagaya family in Japan and the Hinterkaifeck mystery in Germany are linked at the end. New documentary every Friday. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one.